Have you ever snapped at someone over something tiny, then immediately thought, why did I react like that? Or maybe you didn't snap. You shut down. You went quiet, distant, numb. And later, you barely recognized yourself. Here's the real question. Are you choosing your emotions, or are they running on autopilot? If you've been feeling off, overwhelmed, or emotionally reactive lately, this video isn't here to shame you. It's here to help you notice what's actually happening beneath the surface. Losing control of your emotions doesn't happen overnight. It's not one big breakdown. It shows up through small, subtle signs we often ignore until they start affecting our relationships, our work, and how we feel about ourselves. Let's talk about 6 signs that your emotions may be taking the lead and what they're trying to tell you. Sign number 1. Small things trigger big reactions. One of the earliest signs you're losing emotional control is this. Small problems start causing big reactions. A minor delay feels unbearable. A simple comment sounds like criticism. Someone else's mistake instantly irritates you. Logically, you know it's not a big deal, but emotionally, it feels huge. This happens when your emotional system is overloaded. You're not reacting only to the present moment. You're reacting to everything you've been carrying silently. Stress, exhaustion, unmet needs, unresolved frustration. They stack up over time. So when one tiny thing goes wrong, it's not the cause, it's the final straw. This doesn't mean you're weak or dramatic. It means your nervous system is asking for relief. When small things feel massive, it's often a sign that something deeper has been ignored for too long. Sign number 2, you feel emotionally exhausted all the time. Another warning sign is constant emotional fatigue. You're tired, not just physically, but emotionally. Even simple conversations feel draining. Making decisions feels overwhelming. You don't have the energy to explain how you feel anymore. This kind of exhaustion usually comes from emotional suppression. When you're always holding it together, being strong, or pushing feelings aside, your body pays the price. Emotions don't disappear when you ignore them. They stay active in the background, quietly using your mental energy. That's why rest doesn't feel refreshing anymore. Sleep helps your body, but your emotions are still carrying unresolved weight. If you feel emotionally tired no matter how much you rest, it may be because you've been surviving instead of processing. Sign number 3. You swing between overreacting and shutting down. Do you ever notice this pattern? One moment you explode, the next you feel completely numb. This emotional whiplash is a strong sign of lost regulation. When emotions feel unsafe or overwhelming, the brain switches between 2 survival modes: fight, anger, defensiveness, emotional outbursts. Freeze, emotional shutdown, detachment, silence. Neither mode is about choice. They're automatic responses. So if you keep bouncing between saying too much and saying nothing at all, it's not because you're unstable. It's because your system hasn't learned how to sit safely with emotions. Healthy emotional control isn't about suppression. It's about tolerance, being able to feel without losing yourself. Sign number 4, you take things personally, even when you know you shouldn't. Another sign is heightened emotional sensitivity. A neutral tone feels cold. A delayed reply feels like rejection. Constructive feedback feels like a personal attack. Even when you tell yourself, it's probably not about me, your emotions don't listen. This often happens when your emotional resources are depleted. When you're already overwhelmed, your brain starts scanning for danger, even where none exists. You're not overthinking because you're irrational. You're overthinking because your emotional defenses are on high alert. When everything feels personal, it's usually not about other people. It's about an inner sense of insecurity, stress, or emotional depletion that hasn't been addressed yet. Sign number 5, you regret your emotional reactions later. Have you ever reacted emotionally, then replayed the moment over and over in your head? You wish you'd spoken calmer. You wish you hadn't snapped. Or you wish you had spoken up instead of shutting down. This regret is important. It shows awareness. But repeated regret also signals that emotions are acting faster than your values. When you're emotionally regulated, your reactions align with who you want to be. When regulation slips, emotions take control before logic can catch up. The gap between reaction and reflection is where emotional control is lost. If you often think, "That's not how I wanted to handle that," it's not a character flaw, it's a skill gap. Emotional regulation is learned, not automatic. Sign number 6, you feel disconnected from yourself. The final and most subtle sign is emotional disconnection. You feel off, but you can't explain why. You don't know what you're feeling, just that something isn't right. You go through the motions, but don't feel fully present. This happens when emotions have been ignored for too long. Instead of exploding, they go quiet. Instead of demanding attention, they fade into numbness. Disconnection isn't peace, it's protection. Your mind is trying to shield you from overload by turning the volume down on everything. But in doing so, it also dulls joy, motivation, and clarity. Feeling disconnected is often the body's way of saying, "I need you to listen again." How to start regaining emotional control. Here's the truth. Losing control isn't failure, it's feedback. Start small. First, pause before reacting. Even seconds matter. Second, name the emotion instead of acting on it. Anger, fear, shame, disappointment. Third, create space between feeling and action. You don't need to respond immediately. Progress isn't perfection. It's choosing awareness more often than autopilot. Every pause rewires emotional strength. Losing control of your emotions doesn't mean you're broken. It means something inside you needs care, not criticism. Awareness is the first step toward balance. Once you can name what's happening, you can start responding instead of reacting. If you recognized yourself in any of these signs, you're not alone and you're not weak. Which sign hit you the hardest? And do you want to follow up on how to regain emotional control step by step? If this helped, follow for more psychology-based videos and check out the full channel for deeper emotional insights.